Hello, YouTube. Welcome back to Compound Fracture Plays Railroad Tycoon 3. So the old man of the scenarios, the old man of the campaign, is snoring away, which is a shame. So let's see if we can wake him up by moving rooms. There he is.
I think you're getting ahead of yourself.
Yeah, you're right.
You can try one of these scenarios if you like.
Well, let's go back. We'll do Germantown, USA.
Easier if you go in order. Go to the room on
Easier
the
if I
left,
go in order,
clicking
you
on
say.
the sign
Okay.
shaped
Germantown,
like a left.
USA!
In the middle of the 1800s, things were right tough in the old world of Europe. Most of the land was owned and controlled by the aristocracy, and that meant few opportunities for the common folk. But in America, you could make a name for yourself instead of having to inherit the right one. Whole German communities picked up and resettled in the Midwest, lock, stock, and barrel. Sometimes you could barely tell you weren't back in the old country.
All right. Germantown, here we come. This is probably gonna introduce us to the idea of personal finance, I'd imagine. It's been long enough since I played through this campaign that I kind of forget what these things do. I'll remember it once we get into it. Okay. All these settlers have brought their dreams of a better life in a free place. However, nothing is free, and they'll have to work hard. So will I. These towns are growing fast, and they're going to need supplies and transportation if they're going to succeed. I am just the tycoon they're looking for. That's right. The road to public service is through aggressive monopolization of industry and exploitation. Okay. I'm getting excited here. So what we need for gold in this mission is to connect, here we go, St. Louis to Cleveland, have a company book value of at least 40 million, earn at least 10 million from industry profits, which won't be hard because I do love the industry, as I've already mentioned, in the last episode, that is. And we must be the only railroad in business by the end of 1880. Now, that's going to be the hard one. Being the only railroad in business at the end of 1880 is tricky, because that means personally we're going to have to monopolize the entire railroad industry of America. We're going to have to put everyone else out of business and buy up all their companies. And to do that, we're going to have to be really aggressive with our stock market trades. So that's going to be good. Okay, so again, the first thing we have to think about is what industries we want to focus on. So we're going to have to look at this supply-demand map thing. Maybe start with looking at all, because that'll show us where the most economic activity is going. And I'm noticing Memphis up to St. Louis, there's a ton of stuff going along the Mississippi River here. So we could consider starting kind of in that region, maybe. But I think it's more important to find raw resources. So, like, there's a ton of lumber mills around, or not lumber mills, ton of logging camps and very few lumber mills. So we could start in wood, either down here. I don't think we have rights to build in Canada. We can't actually tell right now. You have to pay to get rights to build in countries. So we wouldn't be able to buy up these things, for instance, in Ontario here. Grain looks pretty heavily, like some of these... Okay, how much are these grain farms here? Oh, we won't know. Okay, we need to start a company first. Let's start a company so we can start looking at money. Now, in this case, we are limited in how much we can initially invest. We'll only have $1,100 to start out with. We can get a bit more because we'll be able to take one $500,000 loan, but that's it. So let's do this mountain logo, and we are going to call our railroad G Dominance. Hey, look at that. G Dominance Rail Inc. Okay, G Dominance Rail Inc. That's the name. Now, we have a choice here. We can import the Firefly, which is a slightly better and more efficient locomotive from Europe. We can get a return on our investment, which will, I think, be personal wealth, which could be really, really important, actually. Start out with a bit more personal wealth because we need to buy up our competitors. We can pay less for all trains, or we can pay less for all stations. I'm between the first two. I think I'm going to go with the investment return, because I do think that's the biggest challenge this scenario, is being able to buy out our competitors. So a little bit of extra starting capital is going to help tremendously. So let's do that. All right. G Dominance Rail Inc. to lay track in Midwest. Okay, good. Good. dig. All right. So, I am going to issue bonds right away, probably. Oh, I see we have more company cash than I was expecting. Maybe I just read that wrong. So we'll have just over 2 million. That is enough to buy a brewery. So 2 good options for us. Let's just see what we have available here. 3 good options. 3 options we should consider because, like, for instance, meat packing plant is too expensive. We couldn't even buy one. Same with weapon factory. Actually, there's like more than 3 good options. Tool and die can be very profitable. You need iron. Textile mills, of course, we did that last time. Or we can do the lumber industry, which would have us building lumber mills and also paper mills to take advantage of our wood. Now, I'm tempted to do that because there was so much wood on the map. There's less grain on the map, but we wanted to see what these grain prices were for some of these slightly less used grain farms. 190 is not bad, actually. 180, 190. So, like, whereas in an area like Springfield here, which has a bakery, I'm pretty sure that is. All this demand's from a bakery, I think. What are you? Bakery, yeah. Here, they're 350, right? You see, they're way more expensive, 320, 330. So we could consider putting a brewery somewhere down like maybe Evansville, like on the corner of Evansville, and then start buying up these grain farms. That's a possibility. Again, there's tons of so lumber. There's only 2 lumber mills in Memphis and Fayetteville, and pulpwood. There are only a few paper mills. So there is one up here and there is one over here. And I was really looking at these areas when it came to lumber here. So, okay, this is a bit tricky. We could build in Minneapolis and go into wood. I don't know. That doesn't seem like it would be necessarily the most profitable. Let's look at textiles. So cotton, there's no cotton on the map because we're in the north, not the south. There is wool. There's a bunch of wool around Toledo. Building clothing industry in Toledo and going from there would be a really interesting idea. So what about iron? Iron's a big one. Oh, there's lots of iron and very few tool and die shops. There's only one tool and die shop on the map in Saginaw. Saginaw, Michigan. Okay. We could build a tool and die in Grand Rapids. That might be the best bet. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to start with tool and die, and then we can move from there into exploiting a number of other things. Like there's a lot of good resources up here. So we can start with tool and die and maybe move into wood. What about produce? We could get booze out of produce as well as with a distillery. Yeah. I mean, stuff like produce tends to keep a relatively high price. You can see these fruit orchards are quite high, even without any distilleries, because cities demand fruit just to eat the fruit, you know? So, okay. Same kind of deal with sugar. So let's go with iron. Let's do iron. We'll do iron in Grand Rapids, and that'll be our start. And then we'll build rail from Grand Rapids to like Minneapolis and to some of the other big cities around here. So, unfortunately, the bigger population centers I think are more like Detroit, Chicago, and we're a little bit isolated in Grand Rapids, but that's okay. Or Cedar Rapids. I keep saying Grand Rapids. Obviously, that's in Michigan. We're looking at Cedar Rapids here. So yeah, let's do that. So we need to start with a tool and die. Put it right here. And then we'll start buying iron mines that are close to it. So one unfortunate problem with starting with iron mines like this is, now before, you remember that the supply-demand kind of equaled right away, like when we were doing the booze in the last map. And that's because the grain was already going down to cities, and the wool was already traveling down to Boston, where there was another textile mill. So it already had a pathway. Sometimes this game takes a while, unfortunately, to actually get the resources from the mines into here. There's a little distance where there's nothing happening. So for a while, the tool and die is just going to build up demand, and then the iron will start traveling. So we're going to consider taking advantage of that, actually. We're going to sell 1,000 shares of our own company's stock right away, I think. Yeah. Then we're going to issue some stock and lower it even more. And we're going to do some, like... By the way, you're only allowed to issue stock twice each year. You cannot do that an unlimited number of times. So by doing that, we have enough money to buy one more iron mine. And then we're going to understand that we are not going to be profitable the first year. And we're going to piss off our investors something fierce, which is why we sold the stock. So once we cross into next year, we'll rebuy that stock at a lower price. We'll screw over everyone else and make ourselves rich in the process. Playing the Tycoon game right. That's what we're doing. Creating a losing business at the beginning in order to play the markets and play our own investors and play everything. We're going to butter our bread on both sides. See, we've already suspended the dividend. Our board of directors has. And once we can watch this iron travel across the map, these little cars are the iron. So we'll see it working its way towards Cedar Rapids as soon as our demand spreads out enough to encompass these mines. And once we see it start moving, we'll know that we're going to start being profitable soon. But we're going to have a couple lean years first while all this gets going. Come on, iron. Do your thing. I know you want to. So meanwhile, our competitors are building a bunch of railroads. We've got a Chicago-Milwaukee railroad. We've got Madison-Rockford, a Saginaw-Lansing. And is there any more? Probably. What am I missing? So our company for now is going to be just the worst. Oh, we can build in Canada. We have rights to Canada in this scenario. That's interesting. I didn't expect that. Right, we're going to look here. So there are only three competitors. Oh, no. 4 competitors. So Des Moines and Fort Dodge is the one we didn't see. Where's that? Where's Des Moines? Des Moines, Iowa? Right? Yeah, over here. Okay. Look at this. We've lost $175,000. Investors are annoyed by our performance. They're cutting our salary. They hate us. We're okay with that. We like that they hate us because we are going to get a steal in the stock market. That's what we're going to do. So our share price has only dropped a little bit, though. That's a little frustrating. I was expecting our share price to drop more than that the first year. But that's okay. The iron still hasn't reached the tool and die, but it's starting to. It's starting to move away from the mine and work its way in. And here it is. You can see the cars starting to move. The iron's moving itself. And it's almost here. We'll watch the profits begin to come in at the tool and die, and we'll want to pick up stock at the right time. A distillery has appeared near Charlotte. That's good. Okay, so the first iron has reached Cedar Rapids. We'll see the price of iron be really, really high very soon in Cedar Rapids, and then that'll draw iron from the other mines. So let's look at this. In an ideal world, we might want to... If we could wait until next year, the price might tank more. I'm worried it won't, though. I'm going to watch this for this first sign of profit. Oh, there's the first sign of profit. Okay. I think investors are going to jump on our railroad soon. And in fact, we waited slightly too long because we could have bought 5,000 shares at once just a minute ago, but we can't now. So we'll buy 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. And now we can buy 1,000 more on margin. So we're up to 6,000 shares. We started with 2,000, but we also had that thing where it kicked back some money to us. So now our price will fall because we've just jacked it up artificially by buying into it. The earnings per share is still significantly negative, but it is recovering at this point. And our book value is now higher than our... and growing prosperity is going to help us out. So let's buy more. We do need to be worried about our purchasing power and cash flow here. If our price does tank at the next annual report, we'll be in some trouble. Fortunately, our earnings per share is doing a bit better now. I don't want to buy again, though. I'm concerned about the risk of that. So all of the iron from the surrounding mines is coming towards us now. We still are in debt, and certainly we're not going to be able to take out more loans because the bank is not satisfied. So investors are now neutral. That's a good thing because we've invested heavily. So if we check our stock price, it is back down to 52, and we're lucky we didn't buy more because that could have actually destroyed our purchasing power, which would have been disastrous this early in the mission. But the price of iron is starting to go up. You can see the bit of yellow expanding. So as the price of iron increases, the mines will become profitable. And we can borrow more money now. I'm going to hold off because I think the next move I want to do, even before I buy this other mine, is to upgrade the tool and die. So let's watch the market. I think as soon as we're able to, we will continue to invest in our own company. The price is going up now, and our purchasing power is starting to recover. I am going to buy 1,000 more shares as soon as I can. It's a bit risky, especially if the economy tanks, but I think we'll be okay. Hello, Star Polemic. Welcome, welcome. Weekend's going all right. There was significantly less violence in the streets than I was fearful of today, it seems like, at least so far. Knock on wood, you know? It's important to knock on wood when you say things like that, but that's a good thing. So we'll buy some more of our own shares. We want to increase, like, personal wealth is going to be the most important thing here. And you can see we now own close to half of our entire company. Once we start making serious profit, we'll consider stock buybacks as well to increase our own wealth. And our stock is really doing well now, so we're going to continue buying in while we still can get away with it. Meanwhile, I think, okay, how much is it to upgrade this tool and die? It's 910,000. So once we reach about 410,000, I will want to take another 5,000 loan. I don't want to issue more stock right now. A study has shown that railways could decrease delay at stations by as much as 20% if they had full-time cable operators. The cost is 20% more station maintenance. Sure, I'll do this. Won't help us at all right now. We have no stations. We are only a tool and die company, not a railroad yet. But that's okay. It'll help us later. So investors are now pleased. Good. Let's pause again. We cannot yet buy more stock, unfortunately. We have a huge surplus of iron in Cedar Rapids now. I'm going to upgrade the tool and die if I possibly can. Oh, and look, our credit rating's doing great now. So let's refinance this loan because it's at 11%, and we'll take out a bunch more, have some capital to do what we want with it. And actually, I'm tempted to build a second tool and die. I don't think that's the best bet though right now. We'll upgrade this one. I mean, I'm really tempted to just try to raise a little bit more money by hook and by crook, even if we have to issue stock, just to build another tool and die and increase the demand on iron. Because what we really want to do, and I will buy this last iron mine, I guess. What we want to do is make these iron mines profitable. That's where we're going to make the real money, is if we jack the price of iron to the point that these are no longer losing money, which is why we bought them all in the first place. So let's work on the price of iron. As soon as we get up to 1,800, is it? 1,900? What is it? Tool and die? 1,600. As soon as we get up to 1,600, we're going to build a second tool and die right next to the first one. This is going to tank the actual, tank the profits of the tool and die plants by doing this, by increasing supply. But we're okay with that because if we increase, like, it'll tank the profits of the tool and die, but it'll dramatically increase the profits of the iron mines, right? So it'll balance itself out as far as we're concerned. And at the same time, we'll be able to soon make railroads, and we'll make tons of cash shipping the cheap tool and die from our little starting Cedar Rapids area here to the bigger cities. Meanwhile, Cedar Rapids is growing. One cool thing about this game, right, is if you build industry in a town, the town will grow as a result. So Cedar Rapids started at like about half a star, maybe, or 3/4 of a star of population, and it's already grown over a full star. So Cedar Rapids is now like almost as big as Chicago, right? Just because we've built those tool and die factories and provided work. Same thing's happening with Saginaw. These guys invested heavily in Saginaw. They built a station, and there's also a bunch of industry here, so Saginaw's taking off. Investors are now excited, which is wonderful. How are we doing against other? Yeah, we're look at this. Our profit is way higher than the other companies, even though they have track and we don't, because we're working the iron gimmick here. And our own total wealth is also way higher than the other tycoons. We're going to start looking at these other stocks though, because what we need to do ultimately is stop the initial shareholders from getting a majority in any of these other companies, because we want to take them over aggressively. We want to do hostile takeovers. So we're going to begin buying into our competitors. We'll buy 1,000 at least of each of our competitors. Oh, we just bought 2,000 of that, which actually makes sense because this one's doing the best. The Chicago and Milwaukee line is doing the best of all of them. So we now have as much as the initial owner of this. What we want to do, ideally, is get above 50% in all of the companies so that we can do hostile takeovers very easily without spending much money on actually buying out other shareholders. And I see why Chicago Milwaukee's doing so well. They've already hooked up Madison and Rockford. I think I'm going to eye these guys as an initial takeover target, if we possibly can. Meanwhile, I'll pause it again. I'll take out some more bonds, and we'll upgrade our second tool and die here. We'll check on the price of iron in the area. It's still quite low, but we really need to start building rails so that we can get the tool and die out of here and into the cities. So, what is it? What's it actually called? Goods. Goods is what I'm looking for when I say tool and die. The price is beginning to lower here. It's not red or anything, but it is yellow. So I think the next task is probably going to be to build railroads. Our purchasing power is all right, but it is still a little bit scary. I am going to buy a few more shares of our own stock so that we can, yeah, that's good. I think that's fine. I'm expecting our competitors to do poorly and our stock to tank, like the value of these shares to tank in a lot of these companies, with the possible exception of Chicago, Milwaukee here. And that's going to decrease our purchasing power. So we want to be careful again and very protective. We do not want bankruptcy. Cedar Rapids continues growing at a rapid pace. Rapid pace. Oh boy. Meanwhile, a weapons factory opened in Chicago. One thing to be aware of, by the way, is eventually tool and dies stop accepting iron and they require steel instead. So we actually probably should have checked on coal. There is a fair amount of coal on this map. In fact, there's a lot of it. So even if we can no longer do tool and die with iron, we'll be able to ship coal in and we'll be fine. So that's a really good thing to know. That's really important. We need to start increasing the demand for iron. There's too many iron mines in this area, so they're not going to become profitable anytime soon. I'm still glad we purchased them because we do not want them to shut down, but it's time to start working on trains, for sure. So before I do that, I'm actually going to try to hook up our line to the Chicago one so that we can take advantage of their network and really get a good market for our goods. So while we take advantage of them, it's also going to mean that they will benefit as well as us. So we want to buy up more shares of their stock before we start connecting up to them. Okay, so it's time to make some moves on the stock market here. So we're going to go to the market. Oh, I thought I paused it. Pause. And their shares are increasing in price. I'm going to immediately buy 5,000 shares and really, really hope that our purchasing power holds up. I expect it to, but I am concerned. I'll admit that. And they just expanded to I have no idea how to pronounce that. Dubuque? I don't know. I'm not a Midwesterner. Damn it. I'm a doctor, not a Midwesterner. So we're going to use their station. We're going to make a little deal with this railroad, the Chicago Milwaukee Railroad. We're going to dramatically increase their profitability, but we have invested heavily in them. So that'll work out well for us. So let's just start in Cedar Rapids. We'll start with the station here. Lock it like that. Oh, wrong way. This way. Put it here. I'm going to make sure I can build rail. Yeah, it's not ideal, but it's fine. I'm going to build it out this way, even though we don't need that rail, just so it's in place and we know what we're doing. And then build it this way. Okay, that looks good. Okay. Good stuff. Now we'll do maintenance. Flexible, please. There and there. And then we will build a train from Grand Rapids or Cedar Rapids, I keep saying that, to Dubuque. Dubuque! I think that's how you say it. So we're going to do custom. We're going to say Goods, 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 goods. Anything, 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 anything. At least grab the goods 100% for sure. And then on the way back, it'll just be 0 to 6, whatever you want. Fine. We're going to choose the Baldwin. It's better at handling more cars here. It's a newer train. And look at this money. 322,000 delivery profit. Just because of all the crazy amount of goods. I'm tempted to double up on this train, actually. I think I'm going to do that. So this will dramatically lower the value. Okay, so if we look at our value map here, we look at goods. You can see Dubuque is green, Cedar Rapids is yellow. So there's a huge difference in value here. We can make tons of money on this rail. But the Chicago-Milwaukee Railroad here should move the goods along to the other big cities so that we don't have to worry about it. So what we really want to do, I think, I'm actually going to just duplicate this train. I'm going to clone it right away. Break my usual rule of having fewer trains rather than lots, just so that we can get all the goods moved. And then the next thing we're going to want to do is take more loans. Loans are good, like lots more loans here. Build another tool and die, a third right there, and then upgrade this one. Oh, we can't do it quite yet. We'll be able to do it soon. It's not worth another loan. There it is. Okay, and now we'll go back here. I don't want to buy this on margin again. It looks like this railroad's doing very well. So, unfortunately, Daniel Drew, the founder, has already up to 5,000 shares. So we need to move fast. I am going to buy several thousand more shares. See, we're number 2 here. We do not want to allow him to get a majority of his own company. That would be a disaster. So meanwhile, we'll buy another 1,000 there and another 1,000 there, and we'll go on with our lives. But we're going to keep a very close eye on this. We want to be dominant in terms of all of these ownership groups. We have like a huge cash flow issue. So actually the way we're going to fix that cash flow issue is we're going to take out another loan here, issue bonds. We're going to look at our personal finances, and we see that we own almost half of our own company. So we're going to take advantage of that by changing the dividend. So basically for every dollar that's paid out on dividend, we get about 50 cents of it. So if we like raise the dividend like that, give 500,000 in dividends this year, it will hurt our company, but at the same time, it'll dramatically increase our own personal wealth. And that's what we want in order to be able to buy up our competitors. So let's just change it again, because we can make it even higher now that we have more money. Okay. So we're going to do that. We're going to pay out money to ourselves, taking advantage of finance here. Going to buy maybe a little bit more of our own stock, and then a little bit more of our competitors. 1, 1, 1, and 1. Let's look again at this. We've almost caught Daniel Drew at this company now. We're well ahead in terms of the other companies, I think. This one we're tied. This one we're tied. We want a majority in each of these companies. Oh, you never thought of doing it this way, Matt? I always do it this way. I find that industry is just like straight up key in this game on harder difficulties, especially. Like this is an industry simulator and a stock market simulator. Investors are now ecstatic, so that's wonderful. We've been playing 6 years. Okay, let's look at our briefing again. What do we actually need here? We need a company book value of 40 million. We need to earn at least 10 million from industry. That's no, like we're probably close to 10 million already. And we need to be the only one in business. So company book value of at least 40 million. We're just over a 10th of the way there. We're only a 5th of the way through the game. We shouldn't have any issue. We need to connect St. Louis and Cleveland, but whatever. We can do that later. We don't care. Starting by not building a railway. Yeah. No, I figured that out, Matt. That is how I don't know. I just find railways, before you have the industry to be able to actually sustain the railway, railways have a hard time being profitable at the beginning of the game. Because they'll be profitable immediately, right? You find a run where there's a high supply in one place, a high demand in another. You do train back and forth. But soon, the value of whatever you're moving levels off, right? And unless you have a large amount of industry supplying more supply to sort of allow the curve not to level, you're going to see decreasing profits very quickly. So that's why I think industry is more important than railroads in this railroad game. Okay. So we have 1.6 million. I'm going to take another pause and look at this. Our purchasing power is way up because our company's done great and because we've paid ourselves a huge amount of money in dividends. So that's wonderful. I think we can stop buying our own shares now. Daniel Drew has passed us. Are we Daniel Drew? No, we're George F. Train. So, yeah, so let's buy some stuff. We'll buy 5,000 shares of Chicago, Milwaukee. Oh, that's not the one I'm looking at. I'm looking at this one at Saginaw Lansing. So we'll buy 5,000 shares of that too. But we already have almost a majority in Chicago, Milwaukee. That's good. And then 2,000 of that and 2,000 of these cheap companies that don't really matter. So we're ahead in those two. Okay, good. Now we should be looking at what our next priority is here. See, there's not much goods left at Cedar Rapids. We've shipped them all here, and then our competitor's making a ton of money off of it, really. And that's great. We don't care. Our competitor is making us money because we own like half of their business anyway. Iron price, like even with these 3 tool and dies, the iron price still hasn't stabilized in this area because there's so much supply. That's interesting. What's up here? What's demanding all this stuff up here? It's just 1 tool and die, eh? It's just been going longer than we have. Okay, whatever. We upgraded them all, right? Yeah, okay. That's fine. So we're going to get into the lumber business, I suppose. There's already a sawmill here, so that's not ideal, actually. I think we want to, like, build our lumber industry kind of up in Minneapolis or Rochester. Let's make it Rochester. What about paper mills? Is anything around here? There is already a paper mill in Rochester. And that's going to be super expensive to buy. But that's okay. You know, whatever. Is that increasing the value of these logging camps? It is not, because logging camps primarily produce lumber. Paper is sort of a secondary. So let's do that. We'll buy up a bunch of logging camps first off. Here and here and here and here. Logging camps, logging camps. They make logs, logging camps. Do they make paper too? Yes, they do. They're anyway, enough of that. Logging camps. Look out! So now we need a lumber mill. Where is it? Lumber mill. Okay. Gonna put it close to the river, like on the river side of town, so that the goods have a slightly easier time getting there. Gonna need a few more loans. That's fine. We have enough credit for it. We'll refinance all that debt soon. Get it at a lower interest rate. But for now, just take out all the loans we can. Okay, good enough. Logging. Lumber, logging. And we'll upgrade that right away. Too bad there's already a paper mill. We don't really care that much, though. Now let's build a track. Just go this way, I guess. Might double track this area. In fact, I'm going to do that. I'm going to immediately double track this little stretch here. Just because we'll now have 3 trains sharing it, so I don't really want to have that big of a traffic jam happening. All right. Rochester. Yeah. Good stuff. Okay. New train. Rochester, Cedar Rapids. Let's just tell it to up to 6 cars, whatever it wants, all stations. We'll just be a bit lazy about this one. We got a new train, the American, so I'm actually going to increase that to 8 cars. The American can handle it. And we'll just do that. Lots and lots of money is coming in. Lots of alcohol delivery, which is interesting. What's alcohol at? Oh, we got a couple breweries up here. Nothing down here. Up, or at least not much. That makes sense. Oh, there's way more farms than there used to be in this area. I think we should get into the brewing business next. So let's think about the brewing business next. We can also do it maybe Fort Dodge even. I don't know. So let's go back to buying stock. I think that's a good idea. Munitions factory, cool. We'll buy 5,000 shares in our own business. We have faith that we're going to be successful. And we're also, like, giving ourselves a huge dividend, which is lovely. Let's buy another 5,000 in this. Cedar Rapids Zephyr, nice. Okay, good. It's because we got the American, the new train. This railroad's doing amazing. Its share price is going sky high, so We now have almost an absolute majority. We need 1,000 more shares. We'll get that soon. We'll get more of Chicago, Milwaukee here. 5,000 more shares of that too. Boom times ahead. Okay, you know what? I'm going to pause it. It's good time to refinance our loans. So let's see about that. We only have less than 500,000, so I'm going to wait a little while. But that's going to be the next project. Once we get a little bit more money, we're going to refinance loans. So let's buy some more stuff. We can afford to just jump whole hog into these railroads now. We have tons of purchasing power. I think that's okay for now. See, we're paying a little bit of money to use the station over here, but it's like only 4,000 each time. It's not bad at all. Charles Cocker's buying more shares. Oh, my cam's in the way of that text. Maybe I should move my cam to a different part of the screen, actually. I don't know. I don't know where the best place to put the cam is in this game. I put it where I did because I didn't want to cover up like this screen on the other side. But maybe I should have it up in this corner. I'll do that. I'll do that for the next scenario. Move the cam a little bit. Okay. G Dominance Rail has split again. This is nice. Investors are highly excited. Of course they are. We're doing great. Oh, look at this. Madison Southern is doing amazing as well. Okay. So we need to be a little bit worried about that. Let's make absolutely sure. And of course, like, doing all the dividends we're doing has really decreased our profitability as a company, but it's increased our purchasing power as an individual, which is far more important in this scenario anyway. So we have half of their shares. We're going to go a couple more, make sure we're safely over half. We're going to do that in general here. We're going to buy 5,000 shares there. Now we have more than half of that. We're just under half here, so we'll buy... there, we're just over half now. And here, we're at half. We'll buy one more. Okay, good. So now we can crank our dividend back down to 0. I think that's a good idea. Because we want some standing money for our company here. Dividend 0. We're going to play. We want to build up cash reserves. I think we're going to go immediately into the next section of the game. Well, maybe not. Where's our total book value? We need to find the... Here we go. Here we go. Book value is only 5 million. So that's going to be our initial bottleneck because we need 40 million. So we need to really expand here. Let's get into more industries. First, I'm going to look at how the lumber's doing. There's still very little demand for logs around here. Did I buy these? Yeah, I bought the 2 closest ones. I bought that one. Oh yeah, I totally bought them all. So let's dramatically increase our demand for lumber in here now that the shipments have begun. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So I'm going to start by repaying one of the more expensive loans here. And then I'm going to reissue it. Oh, it's only 10%. We only saved 2% there. That's fine. We'll just go up to maximum debt, and then we'll build another lumber mill. And we'll just build it down here. Press go. Maybe we want to connect Rochester and Minneapolis right away also. So I don't know. This isn't... I'm starting to get a little bit concerned about a few things here. This is our competitor train that's taken our line over at Cedar Rapids, which we're okay with because they're paying us to use our line. There's a lot of competitor trains taking this route. So I do regret buying a second train for that route. And in fact, I'm going to double track it all if we can afford it. Well, we can afford a bit of it. And then I should reassign one of those trains because they're really not doing very well right now. I do want to do a Mason City to Rochester line pretty quick. Let's just immediately get on that. Might as well start working the train tactic and get some stuff going that way here. I am a little bit concerned with how our company's doing. We've been worried so much about our own personal wealth that we've neglected it slightly. Should be fine though. And I am purposefully putting off my ambition of becoming a beer baron. We'll do that a little later. So I'm going to pause the game, and I'm going to reassign one of these trains because they're not really doing very much. I'm not really enjoying them. So, Mason City. Oh, wait. Plus Rochester. Rochester, Mason City. Minus 60, sure. All stations. Start in Rochester. Okay. So now it's going to go up to Rochester. It's going to be a little tricky for it because of the way the rail's built doesn't really help for that. Investors are now somewhat pleased. Okay, so we're in a bit of trouble here. I'm concerned about our purchasing power tanking. Not super concerned, just a little bit concerned. Yeah, we have no money. That's interesting. I'm surprised that our profitability is doing so much worse, but it's totally because the goods supply. Like we've created produced so many goods that now we need to go. Like even Chicago has like too many goods. We've produced so many that there's very little demand. So we're just going to need to build more rail, basically. We're going to need to build more rail to create more demand for our products here. Oh, we forgot to build maintenance. Really? There's water here, but it's not enough. I guess we need a second water something by Rochester, which makes sense. Let's do that and that. Okay. Now, once we get more money, we're going to connect up Minneapolis as well. What's happening here? Is that a broken down train? Broken down competitor train? Looks like. Oh, there it goes again. Don't love this. This was going very well in the early game. We've kind of run into some problems here, but it's okay. We'll get there. Can we build unconnected track in this scenario? It looks like we can. So let's work on Minneapolis here. I'm going to see if we can get through this way. There's a lot of little hills in Minneapolis. It's not the best. That's fine, I guess. Oh man, look at all these hills. Run right along the river. Good old Mississippi. Up in a part of the country where it's more of a Mississippi, like, slow trickle. Okay. There we go. Build a station up here. Build a big station. Yeah. Okay. Build some maintenance. Investors are back to being excited, and we have capital again. Let's pause the game again. We'll build the maintenance facilities here, but I really want to like look at the financials again, see how the stock market's going, see what we need to do. We're at the point where we want to consider maybe doing some hostile takeovers pretty soon too. We have lots of purchasing power at this point, so we might have leaned a little bit heavy on increasing our own personal wealth at the beginning of the game. That's okay. It's better than leaning too light on it, because if you lean too light on it, you can end up in trouble. We have a majority in every company in the game, so that's great. I think we can start issuing stock for our own company now. So I'm gonna use my personal wealth to try to increase my business wealth. Go the other way around. So we're going to immediately buy 25,000 on margin. I think. Yeah. 25,000 on margin, which will put our stock price through the goddamn roof. And then we'll issue stock at that high stock price, get almost $1.5 million in capital doing it. Our purchasing power will tank, but we should be able to sustain it. I'm pretty sure we can sustain it. And now we have enough money that we can continue to build trains, continue to help the demand curve if we want. What do we want to do here? I think we need a new industry more than we need more trains, honestly. Let's look at how lumber's doing. Did we? Yeah, we did totally expand capacity there. Pulpwood. Okay. Logs. Yeah, we'll be making a lot of money now in these logging camps, and we indeed are. We're getting good return on our investment now, so that's nice. Okay, so let's start thinking about the next industry. It's probably going to be alcohol, right? I think. So how about these? These are only 140. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a very good one. 140, 140, 140. 140. 140, 160, whatever. 160 is fine. What about you? 150, sure. And 140. Okay. And then Danville will have a brewery. A nice big brewery. We'll put it somewhere around there. That looks good. Upgrade it right away. Can't afford it. Okay. Once we get the money, we'll upgrade it. I love the music in this game. Not generally a big fan of game music, but this is a good one. Economic boom is fading. That is very concerning, actually. I'm going to press pause briefly and just make sure that we have enough purchasing power. I think we're okay. See, our share price reached like 120 odd when we did that thing where we bought a bunch of it in order to issue more stock at a higher price. So we've lost like a massive amount of wealth by doing what we did. But we transferred basically $1 million into the company, kind of artificially there. So soon we're going to really have to start looking at increasing our company wealth in order to buy out competitors. With the economy doing worse, unfortunately, we probably should have taken some time to refinance earlier than this. But I think we can still get away with doing it now. Can we issue more stock yet? No, we can't. Okay, so let's wait. Need a little bit of money to start that process. So for now, we're going to be buying back stock, and I'm hoping that we can refinance while we're still at 6% prime before it goes up to 7%, which it absolutely will. Let's keep repaying our debt. I'm betting at the new year it'll go up to 7%, which isn't ideal here. Highly excited. That's good. Our profit is higher than our competitors. Our competitors are doing surprisingly well, though, which is unfortunate because it'll mean that we're going to have to pay a lot more money to buy them out. But we still have, like, how long do we actually have? 1880 is the end for bronze, and it's the same for gold. So yeah, we do still have 20 years. We can definitely make this happen in 20 years. Our credit rating's up to A, which is great. So let's get a little bit north of 500,000 again. One more tick. 2 more ticks. There we go. Good. And then we'll pay off another 12. We up to AAA, I hope. Oh, we're down to A? Really? It's not what I was expecting. I thought we'd get up to AAA doing that. Yeah, we're struggling to be profitable on the train side of things. I feel like our train profits are going way down compared to what they were, whereas our industry profits doing fine. Okay, man, I want to get up to at least AA before we do this, which is a pain because we were at AA not long ago. I don't know what happened. An oil well's appeared for the first time. Well, that's something to think about. We should consider diving deep into the oil business. There's AA. Okay, I'll get a little bit more float. That's fine. Then start issuing at 7%, paying these off. We'll get up to AAA just by lowering our interest payments pretty quick. Trying to make our business more profitable by decreasing our expenses, our debt servicing expenses. And you can see there's 2% repayment penalties while we're decreasing our interest rate by more than 2%. So doing this refinancing will pay for itself within a year. It's a very good idea to refinance when you can save a couple percent. We'll get a little bit, there we go. A little bit more money and then keep going. We might consider not repaying the 8 and 9% loans. Unless we can get up to AAA, in which case we will, because then the cost will be down to 6%. I don't think that's going to happen, though. I'll repay the 9, but not the 8s. How about that? Now I'll just take out more loans at 7%, get all the way up to 10 million. So there we go. Now our debt is at much, much lower numbers, and that's nice. We have 2.4 million to play with. Let's look at oil. Let's see what's happening in the world of oil. There's one oil well way over here. We're going to buy it right away. It'll be cheap for now. And we're going to look at doing something with it in the future, but we don't need to worry about it right away. Right away, let's look at clothing, maybe. Okay. We can probably get some good clothing industry in Mountain View here. Let's do that. Buy. This might be more than 140 because it has some demand. No, it's 140. Yeah, we'll do this one too. Okay, and then a textile mill in Mountain View. Can't upgrade it yet. That's fine. Really, we shouldn't be upgrading it right away anyway, because it'll take a while for the demand to be recognized and start shipping over there. So we'll just leave it alone for now. We'll deal with it later. What next? Could look at distilleries down here, maybe. How much are these orchards going for? 350? I mean, that is still pretty cheap for an orchard. I don't know. We were going to look at grain. Oh, wow. No, grain's the way to be right now, I think. Grain in Kansas City. These are a little over 140, but they're still great purchasing options right away. So let's start, yeah, 140. I'm probably not going to buy that one at 260 down there because it already has a fair bit of demand. And we're going to make our brewery in Kansas City. So it'll be closer to these ones anyway. This grain farm's already owned by a different company, unfortunately. So we will never see the profits from it. So let's build our brewery on sort of along the river, sort of towards the south side of Kansas City, like right there maybe. Looks good to me. Very pleased is worse than ecstatic, unfortunately. We're not doing that great business-wise at the moment. We could issue more stock. I think that's worth doing. Issue. Upgrade. Just make sure that that these companies haven't issued more stock and killed our majority yet. Nope. Saginaw and Lansing's just doing spectacular business. Yeah, they're all doing quite well right now. It must be the economic boom. And there's a lot of primary industry on this map, so that really does help the AIs. Civil War, oh my god. Oh my god! Okay, so, we're at 11 years. Oh, I don't know. Where's our textile mill that we built earlier? I forget where we put it. Wool. Is it this one? No. Where's our textile mill? Oh, there it is. I think. No. Ha! Which one's ours? Not the one in St. Louis, that's for sure. I mean, we definitely built... Oh, this one, the Mountain View one. Okay. So we haven't started shipping goods in here yet, unfortunately. I am going to upgrade it, even though it's not really worth it at this point. And I think we will connect Mountain View up to maybe St. Louis. We'll start a new sort of branch of the railroad going that way. Let's go from Cedar Rapids south, and we'll get all the way over there. Might go to Des Moines first. I like that idea. We'll just give ourselves another market for our goods here, and that's helpful. Des Moines, rather. Should pronounce these names correctly. Oh, that's not good. I think we're going to have some trouble actually getting over this river just because of the way the AI has built their railroad. It's an unfortunate position. We're going to have to like kind of go out here, I guess. Maybe south? Yeah, let's do that. It's awkward as hell, but let's do it. Those 100,000 bonuses, by the way, are so not worth chasing. It costs so much to get a new line in that 100,000 barely cuts into the costs. Okay, that seems fine. Then we'll do more maintenance stuff over here. New train. Cedar Rapids to Des Moines. I'm not going to bother telling it to do goods. It should do goods automatically here. Yeah, these are all goods cars, I'm pretty sure. Recession ahead. Oh, no, the pulpwood? Really? Meanwhile, our stock has split despite the recession, so we must be doing quite well. The investors are pleased. We do have enough purchasing power to sustain us at the moment, so we're not too worried about that. See, now our average interest rate is 7.1 and the prime rate is 8. So even if we had perfect credit, we would not be able to get any loans as low as what we're paying right now. So that's a nice place to be. By the way, one of the reasons I'm not really choosing to buy up all these railroads right away is because they all run so damn inefficiently. Like, it's not really going to help our bottom line much. The way the AI sets up the railroads is not very fun. But we will attach to their railroads and build our own lines off of them. We're going to do that here. Build out to Quincy. I'm actually going to put my maintenance stuff over here, because that way, hopefully, we can coax more fees out of that railroad for its trains. New train, here to here. Okay. That is another cool thing about this, by the way, is like I don't even need to buy most of these rails. Like the whole country is hooking up. All the companies are working together to do it. And that's pretty realistic. So we still have tons of money. We should spend this before we hit go. We should either spend it building stuff, which seems to be what I'm doing, just without really thinking too hard about it. Or we should spend it doing hostile takeovers, buying out other companies. And that's something to really consider at this point in the game. Hook up St. Louis. It's a nice big city that's going to help us. Unfortunately, the station position's a bit awkward. It's going to be hard to get everything in, but that's okay. Put in some maintenance stuff. Build a new train, St. Louis to Quincy. Just do it like that. Simple, easy peasy. Okay. And Mountain View is where we had our textile industry, so we should hook up to there. Let's come out from St. Louis right here if we can, if the game will let us. Come on. There we go. Good stuff. Okay. So we'll take a little pit stop in Rolla. And go down to Mountain View. Yeah. View that mountain. Oh, shoot. There's a lot of hills here. I probably should have been a bit more careful. Okay. It's not ideal. We're coming in the wrong angle, so we're going to hit the undo button. We're going to try this again. I don't see huge gradients yet. So let's just go like that, and then we'll see how this works. There's a little valley here, I see, so let's just go that way. Be a bit careful. There's going to be a couple squares here where there's a little bit more slope than I'd like, but that's okay. We're slowing down to go into the town anyway. It's not that big of a deal here. So there's our textile mill. Train 1 has crashed. We'll replace it with an American. Now, we'll build a station in Des Moines. We'll build a big station just so we can get... What is this, anyway? It's a lumber mill. Yeah, okay, we'll get the lumber mill in the station radius. Might as well. New train. Oh, we need one more station. Very pleased. Okay, I'm going to pause again. Look at how much money we have now. We're really racking in the cash. There. 0, 8, all, American, go. Okay. Simple stuff. We're being very basic in the way we're crafting these trains, but we don't care too much. We just, we'd rather the AI or like just the bare math get the most efficient loads it can, rather than micromanage cars at this point. So let's look over here again. We have tons of purchasing power again. We're so not concerned about that. Let's issue more stock. Issue. We get 2 million out of that. That's nice. Now let's start looking at mergers. I'm going to make sure that we have an absolute majority in these companies. We do. And like, I know I made sure of this earlier. We do, but they might have issued more stock when I wasn't noticing. And we do. And we do. So we can force through at the present value mergers, right? We don't have to offer more than what these companies are worth to merge with them, because we can push it through on our own shares. We can also sell to try to get the shares as low as possible prior to forcing the merger. So in this case, let's start with this one. Its total value of shares is a little bit over 8.5 million. So we're gonna have some trouble buying it. Actually, let's start with the cheapest one. Well, no. I'm gonna start with the one that's looks like it has the most growth potential in the immediate future, and that's probably Madison Southern, I would think. So this may be counterintuitive, but I'm gonna buy 5,000 more shares of that right now. Actually, buy 10,000 more. We'll really drive its price up. Now it's gonna lose. It's not gonna stay at that high value. It's gonna go down. So we'll just leave that for a second. And actually, I'm going to do the same over here. I'm going to buy a few more shares of everything. So let's buy 5,000 more, 5,000 more, 5,000 more. Might as well buy a bit more of our own, too. Hey, we're going to have tons of purchasing power soon because we're going to put a whole lot of money in our own pockets with these mergers. It seems like their share price is not declining the way I thought it would. They must be doing quite well. When we bought up all that stock, we expected it to bounce back down. But we'll wait until the new year, see where it goes. It's split. Oh, that's not what we wanted to see. That's actually just kind of disastrous, the fact that it's split there. But let's do the takeover anyway. We're going to have to force the price lower. We should not have waited for the new year. That was a mistake. But there's a total of, let's see, let's do the math, 160,000 shares available. So we need to keep more than 80,000 to do this. So we're going to sell in groups of 5,000, like that, and like that, and like that, and one more time. And that's just going to drop the stock price like a stone because we're selling out. We can sell a little bit more, keep it dropping. Maybe one more? Yeah, so that's, we have 82,000 out of 160,000 total. That seems good. Now we'll go into company detail. We'll attempt merger. I'm just going to make sure I'm doing the right one because that would be disastrous if we didn't. It's this guy. It's the Madison Southern. So attempt merger, Madison Southern. We have a majority of the shares. We will be voting yes, so we can really, really strip the price. We're going to do it at a really low price because of the way we just sold a whole bunch of shares, driving down the price, while still keeping a majority so that they can't block the sale. So we're going to take them over hostily. See, look at that. Everyone else voted against, but we voted in favor, and we succeeded in the merger. That's what I call a hostile takeover. All right, okay. So we've taken them over. Look at that. That's good stuff. We still have $5 million in cash because we did that smart. Now let's prepare ourselves to do it with the rest. We have more available cash, more available purchasing power, so we just put a whole bunch of money in our own pocket by buying those shares. So let's look at these other ones here. This is also, by the way, how we're going to increase our book value. Let's look at the victory conditions just before we move on. Our book value is now 35 million, and we need 40 million, right? Oh, yeah. So once we take over the other companies, we're just going to be able to cruise to victory. No problem at all. So I think I'm going to go with this one next because it does seem to be spiking in price. I'm going to pull the same trick here. I'm going to buy... Actually, I don't even need to buy more shares here. I've got... Well, maybe I should. Buy 10,000 shares there. And let's just do it all over the place. We'll buy 10,000 more there. And we'll buy 10,000 more here. Okay. And then we're just going to wait a little while, get a little bit more company money. I think we'll be winning this game by the end of 1864. So, like, we have until, what, 1884 to win? What is it? I keep forgetting. 1880. So we're going to win with 15 years to spare. Then we just have to connect up to Cleveland, which will take no time at all. It'll be super, super simple. So we'll just give these stocks a chance to kind of, like, trend downward. We got a new steel mill for the first time near Chicago. That's neat. All right, so very soon we'll let the hostile takeovers continue. I see their earnings here do seem to be dipping, so... And here, too. Must have bad economy right now. This one's going up, though. But it's the cheapest. I don't really care about it. Let's do the cheap one first. Okay, so we have 55,000 out of a grand total of 80,000. So we can afford to sell quite a bit of it. Not quite 25,000, but we can afford to sell several 5,000 lots. So let's go down, down, and then there. Driving the price per share down to 37 while still maintaining our majority. Can do it once more, might as well. 35. Now, double check. Des Moines and Fort Dodge. Attempt merger, Des Moines and Fort Dodge. Minimum possible price, only 2.8 million here. $35 a share. Done. And again, everyone else votes against it, but we barely outvote them. We are good. Hostile takeover number 2. All right. We are going to win. Meanwhile, notice our cash level goes up when we do the hostile takeover because we get their cash, right? So we can keep this train rolling. Let's pick the next company to take over. Let's do this one. They're doing well lately. So, and their book value and share price, like, share price is slightly higher than book value here, slightly lower here. It's fine. This is a better one, I think. So we have 111,000 here out of a grand total of, they have issued stock. I can tell because the numbers aren't even. So we're missing 50,000. We have 111. That means there's 161,000 total shares outstanding. We need 81,000 to maintain our majority. So that means in this case, we can sell 25,000 at a time. That'll be a big shock to the price. That'll drop it from 66 all the way down to $42 a share. Just double check. We still have a majority, yeah, and we can still sell a little bit more. fact, we can sell 5,000 more, dropping it all the way down to 36. We've basically halved the stock price doing our little clever selling tricks here. Unfortunately, I think I've miscalculated. 60 plus... Oh, no. No. That's exactly right. We have 1,000 more shares than everyone else combined. Just... Wait, no. Yes. Why is math hard all of a sudden? I'm good at math, damn it. So we've tanked their share price, and that was this guy, the Chicago Milwaukee has been tanked, and we can immediately attempt a merger with their tanked share prices, outvote everyone else by 1,000 shares. Success. And they apparently did not have any cash at hand, so we're down to only 3 million, which means we're going to have to wait for this one. That's fine. We'll wait. Meanwhile, we'll buy another 5,000 shares for good measure. I think everything's pretty much sold out now. We've put a lot of money in the pockets of other investors because of buying people out. So they should buy up remaining companies. They probably bought a bunch of my company, I would imagine. We'll replace this guy with an American. Oh, I obviously didn't set the route quite right. Oh, wait. Mason City to Cedar Rapids. I screwed this up. This should be like Mason City to Rochester. I think I screwed up this train. That's weird. Okay, so let's tell it to go to Rochester instead. How about like that? Take out Cedar Rapids. Change. Like I really screwed up making that train happen. I don't know what I did wrong there, but fine. Okay, whatever. It's good enough. See, now we're look at our money. We're getting all this money from all of these railroads we now own. Just jacking up our value here. Okay. So, let's do our sell trick here. Again, there's 59,000 shares we do not own, and we own 117. So the total is 176,000 shares. That means we need 89,000 in order to be able to outvote everyone. So we'll sell 25,000 here. And then make sure that our math is right. It is. That's 80. Yeah, we need 89. So we'll sell. Again, we've cut the share price almost in half here. And we're going to go to company detail. We're going to attempt merger. Final company here. 6.5 million. Oh, we miscalculated. We can't do it quite yet. That's really unfortunate. Maybe we can if we issue stock. Issue stock, because we don't want to give their shares a chance to recover before we take them over. Like, that would be really bad, because their share price will spike back up, recovering from my sell-off, right? As more people buy it up at a low price. So let's attempt the merger now. We do have enough money now. We're fine. Do it. Again, outvoted the competitors by 2,000 total votes, and we took it over. Now, the last thing we need to do is connect up Cleveland, and so we'll do that now. We have 2 million to do it. That should be enough. Let's just start here. Go from Toledo to Cleveland. Toledo to Cleveland. Toledo rocks, man. That's all I have to say about that. Good enough. Build a big station here. Build a medium station here because we can't fit it. Damn it, really? That's frustrating. Okay, you know what? Bulldoze this track. Fine. Might have to, like, buy out a house here. I'm going to buy this house, I think, and bulldoze it. Like, this guy? What are you? You're a meat packing plant? Oh, that's... Oh, no. Oh, that's the edge of the meat pack. Okay, we'll bulldoze these 2 houses. They'll be cheap. Move out, people. Eminent domain. Eminent railroad domain. Okay. Now let's do this. Build a station. Looks good. Cleveland's now connected. We don't even care about a train, really. What was it? Where do we have to have it connected to? St. Louis, right? St. Louis to Cleveland, yeah. So now we need another line going Holland to Chicago, and that'll be everything. Man, we sure eminent domained those people. So good. It cost us like 50,000 per house, something like that. Go around Lake Michigan, all awkwardly in the way like it likes to be. Oops, did I do that wrong? I did. Let's be a bit more careful about getting around that. Then just connect up like so, I guess, right? That's connected, I think. Yeah, it looks good. I think it is. Oh, maybe it isn't. Maybe that screwed up a bit. Here, let's just go from this side, just to make sure it's right. Okay. Good. Okay. Now they should be connected. We should press play, and I think we are... Oh, maybe not quite done yet. Really? It goes well, Twisted. We're just about to finish this mission. Or we should be, right? Yes, St. Louis and Cleveland come together at last. G Dominance Rail Inc. delivers the goods. And then some. The and then some means that we hostily took over all of our competition. We dominate the rails, most of which we did not build ourselves. We focused mostly on industry as usual. And let's pause it and let's just check. I think we have everything done, right? Yeah, we're the only company in business. We have a book value over 40 million. We have industry profit over 15. And we've only been playing 14 years out of 30. Look at that. We finished the campaign mission in less than half the total allowable time. We have been very successful, Twisted. Very, very successful indeed. Once the game realizes what we've done, it will give us a victory screen. Come on, game, realize. There we go. A golden victory in less than half of the time. Oh, we are so monopolistic and so wonderful. Look at us. We are doing great. So check us out next time when we do the next campaign mission. Mission is what I'm looking for. The next campaign mission. But until then, good night, everyone.